You know, really awful things are happening to really amazing people, and I'm about to have a breakdown. Hey, welcome to my weekly show where I, Joseph Barkley, break down complicated or highly charged topics into digestible and usable chunks so you can make up your own mind. My goal is just to raise our discernment and raise our compassion at the same time. So of course, like and subscribe if this helps you, and I'd love to give you a free thing. I want to give you a free ebook, so just click the link in the subscription box below and it's all yours. So this happens a lot. People who deserve better get a bad deal. I have this dear friend of mine who is an honest, hardworking, talented innovator who finally landed a great job last year, and then COVID hit, and then she was laid off. And now she struggles to pay the bills for her and for her family. Situations like this happen all the time, and it leaves us with a question that's probably on your mind. Why do bad things happen to good people? And let's just go ahead and ask the other question that is on our minds. Why do good things happen to evil people?
I'm just playing somebody who wants certain things in life, has made certain choices, and goes after them.
How is that at all fair? You know, if you believe that there's a god or gods or cosmic leadership somehow, then their integrity is seriously suspect. Am I allowed to say that?
Not in my house.
And so I'm gonna resolve it for us once and for all. Probably not. Why do bad things happen to good people?
I'm smart, you're dumb. I'm big, you're little. I'm right, you're wrong.
First of all, what do we mean by happen? Yeah, it's true that we go through things in life that we didn't see coming, we didn't ask for. There is some evidence that a big rock collided with Earth about 13,000 years ago, and it killed off a lot of mammals and humans, and I don't think any of them had anything to do with that rock hitting the Earth.
I don't wanna close my eyes.
But sometimes the bad things in question are actually a direct result of our choices. I mean, even with a natural disaster, often when those hit, they strike in the same region that those usually strike, and people have decided to live in those regions. You know, if an earthquake takes down my house, it would be horrendous, but I do live in LA.
Oh my God.
When I want to know why something happened to me, I don't want to also at the same time abdicate the agency that I have to create change in my life. What did I do to lead to this outcome? What risk did I choose to live with? What kind of people have I decided to live with or to work with?
You like guacamole?
What can I do to address the mess that it's created? Or more powerfully, who will I become in the face of this bad thing?
It's morphin' time!
But for those things that truly come out of nowhere, like a comet, the way that we frame this question reveals that we instinctively link our behavior with what happens to us. You know, I've told people that God made me bald because I was a really bad steward of my hair. I even got a perm one time. We assume bad things should not happen to good lives. But if we're gonna ask, why do bad things happen to good people, we do first have to get really clear about what we mean by good people.
Can I just stop you right there for a second? When people do this, I don't really know what that means.
I mean, you'll see all kinds of decent people and nice people and honest people, people who don't often lie or don't steal, people who treat people really well, and yet bad things happen to people like that every day. Is that fair? You know, maybe if the person who faced that bad thing was just a little bit gooder, then they wouldn't have faced the bad thing. By the way, I think saying gooder makes me a really bad person. But let me break it down even further. How do we know bad things are altogether bad? I get that it's painful, I get that it's surprising, you know, I get that suffering is involved. The COVID crisis has led to improvements and innovations that are gonna serve humanity in the future. It forced some of our relationships to face tensions that were plaguing us. I don't mean to sound insensitive, but the less successful treatment of early COVID patients led to the more effective treatment of later ones. You know, the early patients were likely not less moral than the later patients, but their bad experience seems necessary for the good experience of others. But let me break this idea down one more step before I move to the biggest question that I think is standing behind the question. If we're going to entertain the question of good and bad people, then we do have to deal with an element of accountability. We all wonder to what degree our choices matter, right? We get cause and effect. Like if I choose to punch a complete stranger, the effect is going to be pain in his face. We also get cascading effects, kind of like butterfly effects, like that stranger may also punch me back, or that stranger's girlfriend might knock me out, or that stranger may call the police and sue me. But everybody wonders, I think, if choices matter beyond cause and effect. Like in other words, do our lives have to measure up to something? Is karma hanging in the balance, or is our last breath actually a court date with the divine when we are going to be judged? Okay, here we are. The biggest question behind the question. Why? I don't think my dog has ever pondered why his ears formed this big L on his head, as in loser. Like, why did the universe do this to me? Has never crossed his canine mind. But why is on my mind a lot, maybe yours too. But if you're not convinced that there is anything outside the natural observable world, then the years that we spend breathing are everything that we have. And I think it should logically lead you to believe that life doesn't have meaning or value at all apart from what we imprint on it. You know, the same way that a diamond is only more valuable than a turd because we deem it so. If there is a purpose, it might mean that there is a giver of that purpose, you shiny diamond. But the purpose giver allowing bad things to happen to good people is one of the reasons that we conclude there can't be a God. Now, you might not know that I happen to be a pastor, and so let me put my pastor hat on for just a second. No, not that one. No, not that one. No. Let's just lose the hat idea. In all of this, don't pretend you're powerless. You know, the universe might be indifferent, but we do have each other, which means that we have a chance to alleviate each other's suffering. So even if you don't believe that there's a God that thinks you matter, and I happen to believe there is, you can let people know that they matter to you.
I don't care if you don't like me. I love me.
Caring about what humans have to endure might prompt us to become, well, gooder people anyway. Well, that was a whopper. I hope it helped you think a little more and care a little bit more. Again, I'm always looking for suggestions of things that you might want me to break down, so please help out by leaving a comment below. Stay in the loop and help us get out in front of people who might like this and be helped by it. Like, subscribe to this channel, hit that bell icon, share it with the people in your life. We'll see you next time, then remember, use your heart as much as you use your head.